So the prince set off on his journey. It was a hot day. After a while, he stopped at an inn, went in, sat down, and ordered a large mug of apple cider. Now the barmaid, the daughter of the innkeeper, she was most beautiful. In fact, the most beautiful woman the young prince had ever seen in his life. And the moment they locked eyes on each other, they both fell madly in love with each other. Could not say a word. They just stared at each other. Now, after a while, the innkeeper could see their predicament, came over and smiled. "No, daughter, I think the young gentleman might like a drink." "Oh, yes, my good sir, I am thirsty. I would like a large mug of apple cider." "All right, daughter, you've heard what the gentleman's requested. Off you go." So the daughter went off through a door, down a stairwell, into a large cellar, across to the far end of the cellar, to a huge barrel. And she turned the tap to get the apple cider, and she was humming a song. And she was looking around. The world was just so beautiful. Then she looked up. "Ah!" She screamed. She fell down onto the ground. Apple cider pouring everywhere, all over her, spilling onto the floor. She continued to sob. Now upstairs, the young gentleman, the prince, summoned the innkeeper. "I'm very thirsty. I was just wondering what's happening to my drink." "Oh, yes, sir. I'll find out." So the innkeeper asked his wife to go down to find out what was happening to their daughter. So the wife went down into the cellar, and the apple cider was up past her ankles. So she splashed across to the corner of the cellar. "Daughter, what ails you?" "Oh, mother, look up there." "Aye, there's an axe. It's been there a long time." "Well, that gentleman up there and me, we be married, and we have a wee bonny baby boy, and that wee bonny baby boy grows up to be a lad of 12, and on a hot summer's day, our wee lad comes down here to get himself an apple cider because he's thirsty, and that axe up there falls down on his head and kills him." The mother, she screamed and threw herself down and embraced her daughter. The pair of them crying and crying. After a while, the prince summoned the innkeeper. "I don't mean to complain, sir, but I am thirsty. What is happening to that apple cider?" "All right, sir, I'll go down and find out what's going on." So the innkeeper, he went down the stairwell into the cellar. Now, the apple cider was up past his knees. He waded across to the corner of the cellar, to the big barrel. "Wife, what's going on?" "Well, husband, look up there." "Why, that's an axe. It's been up there for 200 years. "Well, that gentleman up there and our daughter, they be married, and they have a wee bonny baby boy, and that wee bonny baby boy grows up to be a 12-year-old lad, and on a hot summer's day, he comes down here because she's thirsty, and as he's pouring the apple cider into a mug, that axe up there falls down on his head and kills him." Well, the father, he screamed, and he flung himself down and embraced his wife and daughter, and the three of them sobbed and sobbed. Now, after a while, the young prince was becoming very impatient. So he decided to come down to find out what was going on with his drink. Now the apple cider was up to his chest, and he almost had to swim across to the corner. He realized straight away he had to turn the source of the apple cider off, so he ducked down, turned the tap off. He was absolutely drenched in apple cider. What is going on? And the father spoke up. Well, sir, look up there. Yes, that's an axe. Well, our daughter and you be married, and you have a wee bonny baby boy, and that wee bonny baby boy grows up to be a lad of 12 years of age, and on a hot summer's day, he comes down here to quench his thirst, and as she's pouring apple cider, that axe up there falls down on his head and kills him. Right. Well, for a start, that is not going to happen, because he reached up, grabbed the axe by the handle, pulled it down with one hand, flung it to a far corner of the cellar. And secondly, my good man, I would not marry your daughter, even if she was the last woman in this kingdom. Good day with you. And with that, he waded back across the room, went up the stairwell, left the inn, mounted his horse, and rode away. Now, as he left the inn, the prince thought he should head back to his father and admit that he had found sillier people than the three princesses. But he reasoned with himself that they were one family, and surely there couldn't be sillier people than them. But he was wrong, and you'll have to wait for the next installment to find out who the sillier people were. Pax Vobiscum.